the NDP are quietly scrubbing all of the good news facts off the Alberta government oil sands websites. Now, the old version and the new version of the website look pretty much the same, nearly identical, and if you weren't already familiar with the old website, you may not have noticed some of the subtle and even the more drastic changes. If you weren't looking for a specific fact you were already pretty sure was on that website, you wouldn't have been any wiser. Now, I'm familiar with that oil sands website. I use it all the time. It used to be a great source of information about the industry, but not so much now. Let me show you the current version of the website here, and then the archived version of the website from just before the NDP took power in April 2015. The old version is longer. It had more facts and portrayed the oil sands as the positive economic driver we all know it is. Now, we can compare some of the differences. I'll show you 3 really big changes, even though there are just so many. The NDP have stripped out pretty much all of the job creation numbers from the old website. They've stripped out facts like these ones here, facts that say oil sands creates opportunity. 1 in 16 jobs in Alberta is directly related to energy. About 121,500 Albertans are directly employed in Alberta's mining and oil and gas extraction sectors, and for every direct job generated in the Alberta oil sands, 1 additional job is created by indirect association and 1.5 jobs by induced association. In fact, it looks like the NDP have stripped out over 10 lines about oil sands jobs and replaced them with a line and a half that simply says, in 2014, approximately 133,053 people were employed in Alberta's upstream energy sector, which includes oil sands, conventional oil, gas, and mining. That's it. So the NDP don't want you to know about the jobs created by the oil sands. It makes it easier to implement bad ideas like the carbon tax when the general public just doesn't know how many jobs are in jeopardy because of it. And then on that website, the NDP stripped out information about investment. The new website shows they have removed an entire graph that showed just how many hundreds of billions of dollars of investment the oil sands should attract over the next 25 years. So the NDP don't want you to know just how much investment they are scaring off with their agenda-driven train wreck, fiscal and environmental policies. Lastly, well, not lastly, as they've made so many changes to the website, but importantly, the new website has no mention of how Alberta is doing with CO2 emissions when compared to the rest of the world. The NDP have removed that graph entirely. That graph showed how insignificant Alberta's emission levels really are. And now it's gone because we can't have people knowing the truth. The NDP also stripped out information about the seedlings planted by industry. The NDP have removed information about emissions and the ecosystem because it's hard to paint the industry as uncaring, greedy charlatans when they are planting the trees Sephora Berman never did. This is the kind of stuff the Soviets would do, but even the Soviets wouldn't use their propaganda of omission against their own best industries the way the NDP are. This is the deletion of good news facts to be able to sell the NDP's bad ideas. The NDP can't sell their carbon tax and plans for the oil sands without lying or keeping the people ignorant of the facts. People might not think it's a big deal for Rachel Notley to put someone like a longtime anti-oil activist like Sephora Berman in charge of the oil sands advisory group if the public just aren't fully aware of just how important and how valuable to Alberta the oil sands really are. The NDP started scrubbing that site to pave the way for the hiring of these activists. Now, if you want liars like Berman fired, go to fireberman.ca and sign our petition. Send Notley a message that hiring these anti-oil professional exaggerators isn't acceptable. Alberta's economy is too precious to put it in the hands of someone who hates us so much. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.